Welcome back to Winners and Losers, the show that looks at the highs and lows from around world football this weekend. I'm Joe, and as ever, I'm joined by Patrick.
And our first winner this week is Zinedine Zidane, who in his debut Clasico got a 2-1 win away at the Camp Nou. He's the first Real manager to do that since 2007. Joe, what did you think?
Yeah, it was a great performance and a great day for Real Madrid. There was a lot of pressure on them going into this because obviously Barca kind of walking the league a little bit.
Yeah.
But Real really performed. Casemiro did a great job in holding midfield, kept the MSN really quiet, and I think on the day actually, I think Madrid's star performer was Marcelo. He pushed Dani Alves back all day. Messi was having to drop deep, and that summed up. He almost played as like a advanced left winger.
Well, as usual, yeah. He kind of thinks he's a number 10 and played like one yesterday. But Gareth Bale had a goal ruled out, and for a moment it looked like Real were going to kind of have the win that they deserved taken away.
Yeah, definitely. It wasn't just Bale's goal being disallowed that seemed fairly strange this game. I mean, Sergio Ramos should have been off the pitch after about 20 minutes. He, as usual, Ramos up to his old tricks. I think he's the second most booked player in El Clasico history now, behind Hierro with 19, and he's had 21 career red cards. I mean, that is madness. In terms of bans, that's over a season in bans. How he's managed to get to the level he is with a record like that is outrageous.
Well, when you're sliding into a challenge and you've already got your hands up apologising before you make contact, this is not a good sign.
Yeah, it was also a very good day for Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, because there's been a lot of chat recently, hasn't there, that he's kind of slipping away. Neymar's starting to come to the front a little bit more, along with Messi. So I think it's a great day for Ronaldo and a great day for Zidane. Our first loser of the weekend is Rafael Benitez, who Newcastle's side lost 3-2 to Norwich, and then he went on to see Zidane win his first Clasico. What a bad weekend for Rafa.
It's been horrific. I mean, like, Steve McLaren was able to beat Norwich this season, and he beat them like 6-2. And Steve McLaren's a horrible manager with no talent at all. But this is now the worst away streak that Newcastle have had since the 70s. They've lost 8 on the trot away from home. Absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see them staying up now at all. It just doesn't seem possible. They've got 7 games left and they're really tough fixtures. They've got to go to Southampton and Liverpool away. They've got City and Spurs at home. So then the last 3 games really for them are Swansea, Palace and Villa. They've got to take 9 points from. And even then they'd only get to 34 points, which probably isn't enough to stay up. So Newcastle look like they're gone.
Well, they've bought all this attacking talent, but they're not actually getting a lot of goals out of them. So they've got like 9 from Wijnaldum, they've got 8 from Mitrovic, and everybody else is kind of just like bumbling around in the penalty box, producing nothing.
Yeah, and you talk about this attacking talent they've bought. Surely they're just going to get picked apart in the summer, especially down in the Championship. The likes of Shelby, he's not going to be staying. Wijnaldum is never going to be playing Championship football. Ayoze Perez as well.
Yeah.
Mitrovic too. So it looks like Newcastle are now gone. Rafa Benitez has had a horror show this weekend, but what we want to know at home is who's actually going to be the bottom 3 and in what order. Let us know in the comments below.
Our second winner of the week is Norwich, who managed to beat Rafa Benitez's horrible Newcastle side. Now they're 6 points ahead of Newcastle and 4 points ahead of Sunderland. Joe, are they going to stay up this season?
I think they are going to stay up. It's almost inevitable now that one of the North East teams is definitely going to go down, so I imagine 2 of them are going to go down. But this was a great day for Norwich. It was a real 6-pointer. We talk about that as a bit of a cliche term, but this was a massive game. This was Alex Neil's probably one of his defining games at Norwich, and it's all gone well for him, really. Since he's arrived to take him from the bottom of the Championship into the Premiership, they've stuck by him. We've seen a lot of managers get sacked, the likes of Sherwood, people like that, and it hasn't worked for teams like Aston Villa. But for Norwich, sticking with one manager looks like it's going to pay off.
But they've got Palace away next, and then they've got Sunderland at home. And if they win those 2, they'll go to 37 points, and that might well see them home.
Like you say, 6 points gets them to 37. That's probably going to be enough to see Newcastle off, and then it's just down to the Sunderland game, which they play in 2 games' time. That is an absolute relegation dogfight battle. That's going to be a hell of a game.
Well, they need to win those games because after that, their fixtures include Arsenal and United and Everton, so it's pretty rough going into it. And frankly, I think they're one of the worst teams who might ever stay up in the Premier League. I think they're absolutely dreadful. But it looks like they are going to stay up. So well done, Norwich. Let us know if you think that they're the worst team ever to stay in the Premier League in the comments below. They are.
Our next loser of the weekend is Napoli. It should have been a great weekend for Higuain and his side, but it all went wrong, Pat.
Well, Higuain scored his 30th goal of the season. He's the first guy to do that since Luca Toni 10 years ago, and only the second to do it since 1956. But then he got sent off, Udinese scored 3, and Napoli fell to a defeat.
So it does now look like Juve are going to walk away with the title there, doesn't it, Pat? I mean, 7 games left, 6 points clear, and at the end of the day, it's the draws that have hurt Napoli, isn't it?
Well, Napoli have had 7 draws, Juve have only had 4, and Juve have had 3 more wins than Napoli. So they've just been turning those draws into wins, and that's going to be the difference in the end. And now with Higuain presumably banned for at least a couple of games after he went absolutely mental at the ref, you don't really think that Napoli can do it.
Yeah, but it does kind of pose a little bit of a wider question for Serie A fans at home. We'd definitely like to know whether you think Juve are ruining the league. We have a lot of talk about whether PSG are doing it in France and Barcelona in Spain, but Juve, they're just winning back-to-back Scudettos over and over and over again now. Are they ruining the league though? We want to know and hear from all the Serie A fans at home in the comments below.
Our next winner is Arsenal. Spurs drew and Arsenal won 4-0 against Watford, meaning that Arsenal are now 4 points behind Spurs with a game in hand. Joe, you should be incredibly impressed by Arsenal.
Clearly the Arsenal fan wants me to, although I was a little bit more impressed by Leicester. I don't mean to move away from the subject straight away, but Leicester got the job done, 7 points clear now, and I want to focus on one man in particular, Wes Morgan. A fantastic performance, a captain's innings. He showed everyone what they needed to do to get that 1-0 win. That's 5 1-0 wins in the last 6 games. It's his first league goal of the season as well, and this is a man who's come up with them from the Championship. He knows the kind of culture of the club and what the fans are expecting. And I think at the beginning of the season, there was a lot of people going, maybe they need to get rid of the likes of Morgan, who are with them in the Championship, and start signing some foreign talent. But Morgan stuck with them, captain fantastic, got them the goal. So in my opinion, Leicester should have been in there above Arsenal.
Well, look, Leicester are going to win the league, like we all know that, and they did, and they were very good, especially with a tired Mahrez. I mean, N'Golo Kante is just like teleporting around the pitch at this point. It's absolutely ridiculous. But look, Arsenal fans know that there are 2 ways to win the league. One is to actually win it, and the other way is to finish above Tottenham. And now we've got a pretty good chance of doing that. El Neni, pretty impressive, 122 completed passes. That's the most of any player in any game this season in the Premier League. But Watford have now got the 2nd fewest points in the league since the turn of the year, behind Palace, who've only got 3. So a great weekend for Leicester, a good weekend for Arsenal, but who's going to finish higher this season? Spurs, the worst team in North London, or Arsenal? Let us know in the comments below.
Our final loser of the weekend are Valencia. It goes from bad to worse after the sacking of Gary Neville. They just can't buy a win, Patrick.
Well, Neville had an 18.8 win percentage at the Mestalla, which is horrific. It's the lowest of any Valencia manager in La Liga history. Got rid of him, still lost 2-1 to Las Palmas. They might well go down now. They've got 34 points. It's not pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, they're really teetering. They're 6 points above the relegation zone, so they've got a little bit of a gap. But their run-in is horrible. They've got to play Sevilla, Villarreal, Madrid and Barca, as well as 9th place Eibar. So it's getting a bit of squeaky bum time for Valencia fans. No wonder they were burning Gary Neville effigies in the street. I mean, a lot of fans in Britain that won't realise how bad the situation is at Valencia, but it's all gone to shit since they appointed Neville, basically.
They can't keep a clean sheet. They've conceded in 21 league games in a row. The last time they had a worse record than that was in 1933, which was like not a great year for Europe. So yeah, pretty unimpressive on Neville's part.
Yeah, I mean, you can't put it all on Neville's plate, or can you? La Liga fans at home, we want to know, is Gary Neville the worst manager in the history of Spanish football? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
So those were our winners and losers this week, but who did we leave out? Should Roma have been in there after beating Lazio in the derby? Let us know in the comments.
And if you enjoyed this video, head over to Eurofootball Daily, where they've made a video on the top 10 best Eastern European players this season, featuring the likes of Rakitic and Modric from the El Clasico this weekend. And as ever, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Catch you next time.